Good morning, everybody. Well, depending on when you're watching this, it could be afternoon or evening. So this video is all about what it's like for someone with neurodivergent traits. And I'm just going to try and get that car out of the image just to, privacy reasons. What it's like for someone who's neurodivergent to attend a networking or social event. So I'm sitting obviously in my car. I'm in this super cool place at the moment. I'm going to go to a networking event. And the thing is, the networking event doesn't start for like an hour. So why am I here? And it's an hour to go. Like, seriously, what am I thinking? Especially first thing in the morning. Well, as someone with neurodivergent traits, so I have traits of autism and traits of ADHD, there's a couple of things that happens to be able to go to a networking event and not just show up, but actually enjoy it. And that includes my own events. So if you've been watching me for some time, you know that I run events on a regular basis, and often I have a coffee catch up once a month. So, and I do speaking events as well. So I, present at other people's events. So there's a lot that I do that's social. But what happens to get me here? Like, what am I going through? Most people book the event, like say, yes, I'm going to be there. They put it in their calendar. They maybe check the address of where they've got to go at the time of booking, or they may check it, right before. So maybe the night before, just so they know what direction they've got to go, how long it might take, and that type of thing. But oh no, for me, I checked the venue, I checked the event address, I checked the time that I had to be here, the traffic time about 6 times, including 3 times this morning before I left home. So I knew at the time of leaving home, according to the map, it was going to take an hour and a half. But then traffic cleared. So it took an hour instead of an hour and a half. Why am I here so early? I know a lot of people with ADHD, and then 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, I'm running late, I'm sorry. And they're just so late. When you have both autism and ADHD traits like I do, there's an element of I need to be organized. I need to, know that I'm going to get there on time, because I personally do not like being late. So there's that. Then there's if I'm late and I walk in and the event's already started, people are going to look at me. Like, I don't necessarily want that attention. Then it's like, oh my gosh, I have to know what kind of food, because especially for me with food allergies. And then it's like, how much light? And so what I'm actually doing as I'm asking these questions, as well as what am I going to wear and all these things, these are all big, big decisions. These are all big factors that I, as a neurodivergent person, and other people that I've worked with who are neurodivergent, go through. There is no little decision. There is no, you feel like pink today, as long as you've got a jacket because it might rain, you're all good. No, have to plan for every scenario and then have to triple check it. It's exhausting just to actually get in the car and then get to the event. Now, for me, the drive this morning was, what music do I want to listen to that I know is going to get me in that energy space of, I've got this covered? Because even though I attend a lot of events, and even though I enjoy most of it, if the venue is too loud, if there's too much stimulation, if there's no space that I can go to have a quiet moment, I will not cope. I will have a version of a meltdown, and often I can mask it until I get in the car. Once I get in the car, it just all comes out, and depending on how triggered I am will depend on how big the meltdown is. A lot of people don't realize this. The other thing that I've been doing as I've been driving here, and I'm going to actually, because I'm here so early, sorry, I'm just looking around at how amazing it is. I'm actually going to take some time to be in nature. you know, because that's where we're at. It's got some beautiful trees and things like that, and I actually find that quite calming. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time there, because on my way here to be able to attend this event with a positive attitude, with a I'm excited to meet new people or see some of the people I already know, I've gone through, remember not to overshare. Remember to ask the person how they are when you're talking to people. Remember to listen and not then go off on your tangent. Like, remember to stay on track of what people are telling you and not think that you've got to have a solution for them because they're just sharing. Or if they ask you a question, remember to try and keep it brief. All of these are a struggle for me because I love to give people as much information as possible so they can make informed decisions, so they can be the best they can. So I tend to overshare. The other thing that I'm aware of, as with my neurodivergent traits, is that if I'm bored, I can be easily distracted. If I start to feel overwhelmed, I can then internalize and my whole facial reactions change. So suddenly if somebody says something that is triggering to me, they don't know it, they have no idea. I'm starting to respond in a way that could be a little bit confusing to them. I could come across as cold or blunt or whatever. Now, I know these things about myself. A lot of people with neurodivergent traits that are similar to me on the spectrum don't have the full insight that I've taken the time to get. They're just like, nope, this is who I am. I'm not changing it for anyone. But I'm in the industry, in health, in fitness and well-being, where I actually pick up on people's energy. So I might miss a social cue that somebody's like rolling their eyes or they're looking away or they're distracted. I may miss that, but energetically I'll feel that something's not right. But by the time I realize what that is, it's often a little bit like, yeah, they're just totally bored with me now. So if people don't understand these traits and these signs of people with autism, ADHD, the combination of both, or even people that have social anxieties, but they've managed to mask to be available because they want to attend the event, they want to connect with other people, but the energy that is already expended today already, the energy, the mental energy, the emotional energy, the physical not so much, but emotional, mental, that it's taken for me to actually get to an event that I want to attend has been huge. Like, huge. I've had to pull out every tool that works for me. And being here early, I've actually got the bonus of going to be able to be in nature, which is super cool, because I will find that I will ground a lot more before the event. So if you know someone who has neurodivergent traits, and it doesn't matter where on the spectrum they are of ADHD or autism, just get to know them. And if you're inviting them to a social event or to a networking event, maybe just stop and check in with them. Is there anything else you need to know about the venue? Is there anything else that you need to know about today that's going to help you enjoy it? It's something that I'm mindful of, but I know a lot of people aren't. And it's just the same as checking in with someone who might need a ramp or something like that because they can't walk upstairs. It's really just being accommodating to people. And especially if you know that. Now, the other thing is that often, and this is what I'm going to be doing for my events moving forward, is just creating that, is there anything else that you require that's going to help you have a good time? And it's not about wheelchair access or anything like that, because more and more people are getting the diagnosis of autism or ADHD or recognizing their traits, or social anxiety. It could just simply be social anxiety. An OCD person, and OCD does fall on the spectrum of neurodiversity, or under the umbrella. Often people with OCD will be like, yep, I've got to check certain things with the venue or with the people. So checking in and going, is there anything else that I need to know, and giving those examples of sensory overload or little things like that. If things like car parking, and they're all really important pieces of information, but also the stimulation of the place as well can be too much for some people, but they would still love to attend. So is it able to be accommodating for that? For me, the minute I'm done, I'm out the door. Like the minute and my whole demeanor changes. If I'm ready to go, I become quiet, I become a little bit blunt. So these are little things that you could be aware of. Now, you may have found this video useful or you may not have, but it's just something that I love to bring to people's attention around neurodiversity traits, because most people like to connect with other people. There's some people that don't want to, that's super cool, but most people want to be able to attend a networking event or a family event. And here's the other thing: if you are neurodivergent and part of your job is networking a lot, and you go, oh God, I've just got to go to that event, then reach out if you want some help with those strategies, because they're really important strategies and tools for you that we can work through together. If you are a workplace and you're finding some people are really struggling even with an online meeting or something like that, reach out. It's not about saying, oh, they have autism or they have ADHD, so we've got to treat them differently. No, this is about social anxiety comes into this as well. This is about being inclusive as much as possible. So that's my little share, and I filled in 12 minutes. Yay. Because the other thing that can happen is when I get to a venue, if I get there too early and I become bored, like here I won't, because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to walk down that hill and I can't wait to go and check that out. So here I will not. But if it was, say, in the city, which, oh, that's a whole other story, traveling into the city, then, and I'm bored, and I'm too early, I'm likely to leave, purely because it's like I've got nothing to do and I don't want to sit here, because I can't sit here with nothing to do. So it's kind of like tapping starts and movement starts, and then now it's like, oh, I've got to do something. The one thing that I always do, and if you've known me for a while, you'll notice I've nearly always got paper and pen with me. Like nearly always. Why? Because if I'm super early and I've got the chance to sit, I might, fiddle, like I might draw, or I might write some notes, or I might look at emails or something like that. But it's about having strategies in place that get you to the event, but not only getting to the event, that you actually enjoy it, like that you take this time to really enjoy it. And that's a couple of strategies and tools that I've found it useful, but I just also thought that because I'm attending a networking event today, it's a great opportunity to share about some of the things that go through. And if you're watching this video, you will notice that I have not just been looking at the camera, because I'm just loving the nature environment and the trees. And also I'm aware of, this is the thing, so I just saw a bird fly up into a tree. This is one of the things from my neurodivergent traits, is I sense everything, whether it's audio, whether it's visual. I don't necessarily react or respond, but I pick up on everything. Like there's a little lizard that's just scooted through. There's little things that I pick up that can be distractions, but they can also be, I suppose, in a way, keeping me where I'm at, because I go, oh, I wonder what's going on there. My brain never stops. And this is one of the things, but I've taken a lot of time to learn my traits. And if you are neurodivergent, or if you think you're neurodivergent, or if you even have some traits that fall under the umbrella of neurodivergence, social anxiety, take the time to know yourself. Take the time to know what is calming for you. Because the other thing is, if you have to mask all the time, that is exhausting, because trying to keep that mask on and be present, it's exhausting. And when you take the mask off, often there's an emotional release, and that's what people refer to as a meltdown. The same as being overstimulated. The thing is that with this, and it's different for every single person, so you can take just some of this and see what resonates with you. One of the things is that for some people, when we start to feel overwhelmed and when it's too much, we might not be able to tell you what it is. It might just be a sudden, where did they go? They were here a minute ago. Where did the person go? Like, they didn't even say goodbye. Like, what's up with that? It's because they can't articulate. If they have to stop and say why they need to leave early, sorry, I'm shaking now. That then creates other problems, and they can't. Sometimes I just can't tell you why I've had enough. I can't tell you what the problem is. I just need to get the hell out. And that can seem rude, but often what I do is I go, hey, thanks for having me, bye, and I make it really short, and I try to be pleasant. I also learn not to apologize for the bluntness or the abrupt leaving, because apologizing means that I'm apologizing for being me. No, I will practice how I can pick those signs earlier, but that's me. That's how I work. Not everybody works this way. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that this video has been of some value to you, especially if you are neurodivergent, or if you know people who are neurodivergent. If you are a business owner and you're watching this, I can come and work with you to create a neurodiverse, inclusive workspace. And I can also work with your team on the health and well-being of your team. These are two things I'm extremely passionate about, and I'm really good at too. But yes, that's me. Enough of this. Have an amazing day, and I'm sure that you'll see photos later of how the event went if you're on LinkedIn. All right, bye.